Okay, we need a little humor. Got a little sappy at the end. As the girls mentioned, Danny was known for his Dannyisms. But Danny was a great contradiction. He was a simple guy, but was very complicated. He was a man of few words, but never stopped talking. You would come into the room and he would go, "Hey, feller." And that was just it's what he said. And it's like, you're kind of wondering, okay, does he not know my name? But everybody was, "Hey, feller." He would go to his grandkids and go, "Here's $1, because you're ugly. I may be tired, old, and feeble, but I sure am good looking." You'd be sitting down to a game of dominoes and he would go, "I've been known to lie a little bit in dominoes. Cheat and steal too." It got so bad at the end, if you went out and he still had dominoes in his hand, you couldn't let him count. Because he rounded down for his score and rounded down for your score and rounded up for his score. So we made him turn them over and you had to count them yourself. He called it the new math. He would say, "A man ought to lose for playing like that." Or you'd go, "How you doing, Dan?" "I'm like a tiger about ready to pounce." Dude, you can barely get out of your chair. Something that he did quite often, he would sing a few bars of something, a few lines of a song. Oh, what a voice. He said, "You should really let me sing at the church sometime. I'd pack that place out. You know, I taught Mary Hughes how to sing." I'd say, "Danny, the only way I'm going to let you sing is when it's over and it's time to clear the place out." If you were a grandkid and you were sitting in his chair when he came in, he'd look at you and say, "Rise up and give God the glory." As I said, Danny was a man of few words, but never stopped talking. He would often say, especially when we're sitting around the table playing dominoes, "Did I ever tell you about the time when?" "Yes, Danny, several times." But that wouldn't stop him. He'd launch right into the story, and you could start reciting it with him. That didn't stop him either, because he would just keep telling you the story. But he never really shared what was going on with him. Didn't really talk about him or what was going on in his body or what he was struggling with. He didn't want you to make a big fuss over him. He didn't want to tell you his health problems. He didn't want you to celebrate his birthday. Just keep going on, doing what you're doing. But Danny had a way of telling you how he felt, telling you what was important. Danny loved this church. And before I came to be the pastor here, when it was looking like they were going to nominate me to be the pastor, Danny came into my office, sat down, and he grilled me upside one side and down the other. Because he wasn't going to let anybody pastor this church that didn't fall in line with the men before me. He wanted to make sure that I was of the right stuff. About 6 months, he came into my office. About 6 months ago, he came into my office. And he brought me this Bible. said, this belonged to a man very important to me, and I want you to have it. When I opened it up, it said David Archie Webb. And for about 10 seconds, we had a moment. And then he said, hey, feller, you want a lesson in dominoes? But that was Danny's way of communicating. It was in the small gestures. He wasn't a man of a lot of words, although he never stopped talking. But he had his way of communicating how he felt about you. And now we're going to show the video presentation.